A woman was driving when the car in front was just a few seconds slow to start moving. The woman instantly flew into a rage, honking her horn like crazy. She thought this was just a minor episode to vent her frustration, but little did she know that death had already set its sights on her. The bearded man in the opposite car slowly rolled down his window. He wasn't angry. Instead, he smiled and apologized, saying that if the woman would also apologize, they could put this whole thing behind them. But the woman refused. She felt she'd done nothing wrong and sped away with a heavy foot on the gas. She hadn't driven far when the woman noticed the bearded man had caught up. He cut her off dangerously, nearly causing an accident. Only then did the woman realize something was terribly wrong and quickly made a U-turn to escape. She thought she'd lost him, but when she went to pay at a gas station and turned around, there was the bearded man's car right behind her, those eyes staring her down with deadly intent. Terror washed over her instantly. The woman begged a nearby man to escort her outside. He agreed and even confronted the bearded man, telling him to leave. But the next second, the bearded man drove straight into that innocent bystander. That's when the woman realized she wasn't dealing with an ordinary person. The woman floored the accelerator, but she soon discovered her phone was missing. Sure enough, at the restaurant, the woman's lawyer friend was waiting for her. The bearded man walked in, disguised as the woman's friend, and sat down. The lawyer was completely unsuspecting and even lent him her phone. When the call connected, the bearded man handed the phone to the lawyer. From the other end came the woman's terrified voice. The woman tried to warn her friend, but the phone was snatched away. The lawyer finally realized something was wrong, but it was too late. The bearded man put the call on speaker so the woman could hear her friend's screams. The lawyer's cries for help grew weaker and weaker until they disappeared completely. The woman was paralyzed with fear. The phone rang again. The bearded man flipped through the woman's contact list who would die next. The woman broke down completely. She was willing to trade her own life for everything back, but the bearded man refused. With no choice left, the woman reluctantly gave him the name of a client she'd cancelled on that morning. She thought this would protect her family, but she soon realized she was wrong. When police arrived at the client's house, he was perfectly fine, even planning to go clothes shopping. The bearded man had tricked her. His real target was the woman's home. At that moment, the woman's brother was at home watching the news. The TV was broadcasting reports about the bearded man's killing spree. The brother called for his girlfriend to come watch, but got no response after shouting for ages. Just as he was about to get up and look for her, he saw the bearded man's pickup truck parked right outside the window. The bearded man had already taken control of the girlfriend. The young brother was instantly overpowered. The smell of gasoline filled the entire room as the brother was tied to a chair. The bearded man forced him to write a letter humiliating his sister. The brother had no choice. The phone rang, and the woman's heart was torn apart seeing the photo of her brother bound and helpless. The bearded man's voice came through, "Get your son out of school, or I'll burn him alive right now." The woman could only comply. She told the bearded man she'd done what he asked and begged him to spare her brother. But her brother's agonized screams came through the phone. The woman collapsed to her knees. But the devil didn't stop there. The phone rang again. "Your son is next."